Hello, everyone. My name is Fernando Angelucci. I'm the storage stud. And today we're going to be talking about self-storage. Now, before we get into our topic today, I just wanted to summarize the basic points on why I invest in self-storage. So, number one, it has the highest return historically versus any other real estate asset. It is very recession tolerant or recession resilient. It provides great leverage. The banks are giving us fantastic loans right now, even post-COVID. Much easier management than single-family or multifamily homes. It's a very fragmented market, which lends itself to opportunity. Low break-even occupancies, which allow us to weather any type of dips in the economy. Easy evictions, because we're not guided by tenant landlord law, but actually guided by lien law or property law, which is much more advantageous for the owner. Has very high sticky factor, so when you raise rents, most of your tenants will stay put. And then there's multiple ancillary profit centers that you can cash flow from other than just renting a unit. So today we're going to be talking about self-storage underwriting. It's one of the topics that's near and dear to my heart. I love self-storage facilities, and I love that everyone's getting into self-storage, but you just want to make sure that you're getting yourself into a good deal and not just doing a deal for doing a deal's sake. So today we're going to cover how to analyze traffic counts. What are the demand drivers and demographics you're looking for when you're looking at a potential self-storage facility or development site? How to do a competition study. How to do a supply and demand analysis, which will produce a supply index number. And then property analysis. Now, usually what we'll do is each one of these is like a funnel. So as a deal comes in, if the traffic counts are there, we won't go to the demand drivers. If the demand drivers aren't there, then we won't go to the competition study. If the competition study proves unadvantageous, we won't do the supply index number. And if the supply index number is too high, we will not do a property analysis. This allows me to underwrite anywhere between 5 to 10 properties a week. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to explore one of the properties that I bought last year and use that as the subject property for this underwriting so you can see exactly what I did before I decided to purchase this property. Here it is. It's in Danville, Illinois, which is central Illinois. It's 194 units. It is all drive-up units that are non-climate controlled. So this is what we would consider a first-generation self-storage facility or a Class C self-storage facility. It has 12 buildings, 1 office, and 1 home. The manager actually lives in that home. And here's what it looks like. This is what we'd consider a value-add project. There is a lot of deferred maintenance. The asphalt needs to be done. The paint needs to be done. There's an old house where the manager lives. And this part of the facility is gravel as opposed to being paved. There's no fencing in place, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but it lends itself for an opportunity to do a value add. All right, so let's go over traffic counts. Typically, tenants choose facilities that they've seen before. Self-storage is an asset class that serves people in transition. That may be someone that is getting a new job, is moving, needs additional storage space, is a business that would rather just rent out a unit as opposed to buying their own warehouse. Now, because of that, a lot of the tenants in the past, historically, they don't even see your self-storage facility for the 5 years that they drive past it until the day that they need storage, and all of a sudden they remember seeing it in their subconscious. Nowadays, though, internet and cell phones have dampened this effect slightly, but it's still very important, especially for older generations in smaller towns that may not be as tech savvy. But as a rule of thumb, about 60% of our clientele now come from this right here, from a mobile phone. A mobile phone is where they start their search. So let's go ahead and analyze our subject property in Danville, Illinois. I pull these traffic count data from the State Department of Transportation. So since this is in Illinois, I went to IDOT's website. And easiest thing you can do is just Google Illinois traffic counts, and it'll bring you to the website with the link that you need. A good rule of thumb is that you'd like about 12,000 vehicles per day or better for your first facility. Once you start becoming a better, more sophisticated self-storage owner, then you can start making exceptions to that rule. But for your first facility, I'd like to see at least 12,000 cars per day. So let's go ahead and take a look.